Lagos State Government, while Group Director, Rice Industry Division, Yihai Keri Arawana Holdings Company Limited, Wang Wei, signed on behalf of the Chinese company. The signing of the MOU and collaboration between the Lagos State Government and the Chinese company will enhance rice production and agricultural productivity in Lagos State, in line with the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration's quest for food security and agricultural revolution. The Lagos State Government, in its commitment to enhance agricultural productivity, has been actively engaged in the promotion of cultivation of rice to meet the high demand for rice consumption in Lagos State, further to which it has established a 32 metric ton per hour capacity rice mill in the Imota area of the state. The Lagos Environmental Sanitation Corps, LAJESC, popularly known as KAI, has destroyed 5 million naira worth of styrofoam packs seized across various locations in the state in the past month. The destruction was carried out in the Ekpe area of the state by the agency in conjunction with the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA. Speaking at the venue of the destruction, Corps Marshal of the agency, Olaniyi Olatubonsun Cole, said the state government has declared zero tolerance on the sale, usage, and distribution of styrofoam packs in the state, and there is no going back on the resolve. Cole enjoined market men and women in the state to desist from selling and buying the banned styrofoam packs, just as he read the Riot Act to traders who converted road setbacks, walkways, medians, curbs, and verges to sales points, as the agency will exhaust all lawful enforcement options to reduce hawking and street trading in the metropolis. The federal government has initiated the review of health facility regulations by forming the Committee for the Establishment of the National Health Facility Regulatory Agency, NHFRA. The committee was deemed necessary to improve healthcare standards, addressing gaps and coordinating issues between health agencies. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Tunji Alausa, during the inauguration in Abuja, said the committee will be responsible for developing the NHFRA's governance framework, operational guidelines, and legislative structure. According to him, the committee, that has representatives from public and private sectors, including regulatory bodies and associations, will also oversee the adherence of healthcare facilities to stringent regulations and quality standards, aiming to eradicate malpractice and ensure that healthcare providers operate under optimal conditions. And now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has confirmed that the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation (FOCAC) has been pivotal to strengthening the continent's economic ties with China and reaffirmation of their commitment to mutual progress. The president, who made the confirmation in China at the FOCAC summit, spoke in his capacity as the chairman of ECOWAS. He said despite the global economic and geopolitical challenges being faced, the partnership between Africa and China had stood firm and resolute, offering a powerful example of what could be achieved through respect for sovereignty and non-interference. President Tinubu noted that China had consistently demonstrated commitment to Africa, not only through financial and developmental support, but also through cultural changes that had brought people closer. He expressed appreciation to President Xi Jinping and the Chinese government for their commitment to the enduring partnership, vision, and dedication that had helped shape the relationship into one of the most significant alliances of the century. The Fiscal Responsibility Commission, FRC, has issued a stern warning against the misapplication of borrowing proceeds, emphasizing the need for greater fiscal discipline and adherence to the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Executive Chairman of the FRC, Victor Marwako, gave the warning in Abuja during his welcome address at the National Summit of Fiscal Responsibility Agencies in Nigeria. Morocco stressed the importance of ensuring that borrowing proceeds are used solely for long-term capital expenditure, as outlined in Section 44, subsection 2B of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The FRC chairman expressed concern over the lack of adherence to the conditions stipulated in the Fiscal Responsibility Act, particularly by subnational governments. Morocco also expressed issues related to inadequate fiscal coordination, especially in debt management and procurement practices, which have implications for Nigeria's overall debt profile. And now to foreign news. French President Emmanuel Macron has named Michel Barnier as Prime Minister almost 2 months after France's snap elections ended in political deadlock. 73-year-old Barnier is EU's former chief Brexit negotiator and led talks with the UK government between 2016 and 2019. A veteran of the right-wing Republican Party, he has had a long political career and filled various senior posts both in France and within the EU. He will now have to form a government that will need to survive a National Assembly divided into 3 big political blocs, with none able to form a clear majority. Known in France as Monsieur Brexit, Barnier will be France's oldest prime minister since the Fifth Republic came into being in 1958. He is set to succeed Gabriel Attal, France's youngest ever prime minister, who President Macron first appointed in early 2024 and who has stayed in post as caretaker since July. And now sports. Nigeria's women's senior rugby team, the Green Falcons, resumed camping on Tuesday ahead of the Middle East Africa Rugby League Women's Cup qualifying doubleheader against Kenya later this month. Both nations will clash in a 2-game series in the first ever Middle East series, with both legs taking place in Nairobi, Kenya. The winner will advance to the Women's Rugby League World Cup series with a chance to secure a place in the Women's Rugby League World Cup. The first leg is scheduled to take place on September 19, while the corresponding tie holds 3 days later. The high-stakes fixtures present a significant opportunity for the Green Falcons to showcase their talent and determination on the international stage. The 10 teams have qualified already for Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, with host nation England, Canada, France and New Zealand securing direct qualification to the pinnacle event after finishing in the top 4 at the Women's Rugby World Cup 2021 in New Zealand. That's all for the news at 4. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, and on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration trained 150 small-scale business owners in digital marketing? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with a Chinese processing company to increase productivity in the rice value chain and enhance food security in the state. President Bola Tinubu has confirmed that the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC, has been pivotal to strengthening the continent's economic ties with China and reaffirmation of their commitment to mutual progress. We also told you that French President Emmanuel Macron has named Michel Barnier as Prime Minister almost 2 months after France's snap elections ended in a political deadlock. And in sports, Nigeria women's senior rugby team, Green Falcons, resumed camping on Tuesday ahead of their Middle East Africa Rugby League Women's Cup qualifying doubleheader against Kenya later this month. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.